2022 recruiting season. My name is Ann McAdam Griffin, and I am the Director of Employer Relations at the Center for Career Development at Rice University. I am so happy to see some familiar faces out there and some new friends on our Zoom today. Before I turn things over to my amazing colleagues, Camille Elmore and Shelby Flavin, who will be leading today's session, I wanted to just quickly note that while we are anticipating a full return to on-campus recruiting for employers who desire it, Rice leadership is continuing to monitor the current situation. If anything changes, we'll let you know as soon as possible. Camille and Shelby have a rich agenda planned for us, but we also want to hear what's on your mind. So feel free, you're welcome to drop questions into the chat during the presentation, and we'll also take questions at the end. Thank you again so much for joining us, and I'm pleased to turn the webinar over to Shelby Flavin now.
Thanks, Anne. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our Hire an OWL webinar, Recruit Rice 101. We're excited to be with you today to give you a rundown of the most important things to keep in mind when recruiting Rice University students. My name is Shelby Flavin, and I am the Center for Career Development's Recruiting Coordinator and Alumni Liaison. I'm your contact for questions about campus recruiting, and I look forward to helping each of you navigate recruiting at Rice this fall. I see some people on the call today who I've already been emailing with, which is awesome. I'm joined by my colleague, Camille Elmore, who's going to introduce herself now.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Camille Elmore, and I work as the CCD's Program Administrator for Data Management and Strategic Engagement. I work with employers on strategic engagement initiatives, and I am your contact for all things Rice data.
Awesome. So before we get started, let's take a quick look about what we will be talking about today. So Camille will give us an overview of Rice and introduce you to our employer relations team. After that, we'll dive into our recruiting opportunities, breaking down each one before finishing up with key takeaways and recruiting dates. We expect the presentation today to take 15 to 20 minutes, and we'll stay on for the remainder of the hour to answer any questions. So Camille, take it away and tell us a little bit about Rice.
So since you're here today, you've probably heard that Rice is a great school. We have an academically gifted and driven student population, an excellent faculty, and rich traditions. We have a growing student body with about 4,200 undergraduate students and about 3,900 graduate students. At Rice, we have 7 academic schools: architecture, engineering, humanities, business, music, natural sciences, and social sciences. And to meet the needs of the changing workforce, Rice is continuously launching new majors, including business, operations research, and social policy analysis. While we're certainly proud of our excellent schools and majors, we encourage students to think beyond their major in their career search. A Rice education equips students with the skills they need to succeed in most fields. And we encourage employers too to have an open mind in regards to major when recruiting at Rice. Something that really sets Rice apart is our campus and global community. Almost 70% of Rice undergraduate students live on campus in our 11, soon to be 12 residential colleges. When I started working for Rice, I thought of the residential colleges kind of like the Hogwarts houses in Harry Potter, and I wasn't too far off. Residential colleges allow students to build deep connections with their peers and provide significant leadership opportunities. Rice is also home to more than 300 student organizations. We probably have a club that caters to the kinds of students you're looking to recruit, and we're happy to connect you with this active, valuable network. Another important thing about Rice is our alumni community. We love when alumni come back to campus to help recruit current students, and our students really value hearing from and connecting with the alumni in your organization. I have a couple of quick slides on undergraduate student demographics. First, geographic origin. There are 2 key takeaways from this slide. First, Rice students come from all over, and they also end up all over after graduation. Though many students return to where they're from, we also have many students who fall in love with Texas and end up staying. Second, we have a considerable population of international students, so it's important to be able to answer questions about your company's sponsorship abilities when recruiting at Rice. If you're interested in recruiting graduate students, please note that the percentage of international students in that population is even higher. Next, undergraduate demographics in terms of race and ethnicity. This pie chart does not include international students. This is only our domestic cohort. So you can see that Rice is home to students from diverse groups across the nation and across the world. So now that you know a little bit about Rice, who are we? The Center for Career Development, or CCD, is the office on campus that helps students at Rice find and make their place in the world. Our office serves all non-MBA Rice students and alumni by educating them on resources and options, connecting them with opportunities, and empowering them with the skills they need for lifelong career fulfillment. And one of the ways that we live up to this mission is the hard work of our employer relations team, most of whom are on the call with us today. Everyone on this team helps connect employers like you with Rice talent through campus recruiting, our career and internship expo, externships, and special events. We also have an awesome career counseling team that works one-on-one with students and hosts career development workshops. Now I'm going to pass it back over to Shelby to dive into the campus recruiting options we're offering this fall at Rice.
Thank you, Camille. So we have a variety of options available for employers interested in recruiting at Rice, from sharing job and internship opportunities and participating in our career and internship expo, to hosting an info session or coffee chat and becoming a partner in our Owl Edge externship program. There are a lot of ways to engage with students. We invite our employer partners to share their full-time and internship opportunities with our students on Handshake, our on-campus recruiting platform. All Rice students receive an account upon matriculation, so this will be the first and most effective step to getting your company in front of them. If you're interested in hiring alumni with 3 or more years of experience, we ask that you submit that role to Sally Portal. Employers seeking Sally Portal, Rice's alumni networking platform. Employers seeking MBA candidates should connect with the Career Development Office in the Jones School of Business. Our students have many opportunities, so we encourage you to be descriptive and detailed to help your role stand out and focus on key skills rather than on major to attract the largest number of students possible. Rice students are academically gifted and driven and have diverse interests and abilities. Finally, Handshake allows students to personalize their accounts with what they're looking for, from industry to company to location. And you can use these filters to identify prospective candidates and then use the Handshake messaging feature to engage directly with them. Next, you can also connect with Rice students through an information session or a coffee chat hosted virtually or in person. Coffee chats are an informal and easy way to connect with students and can be customized to target specific relevant student groups. We encourage you to consider a unique event format that will make your organization stand out. Examples of specialized sessions include alumni panels, interview workshops, simulations, competitions, and more. Scheduling is also critical to the success of your event. We see the highest student engagement with employers in the weeks surrounding the Career and Internship Expo, so we encourage you to take advantage of that anticipation to drive attendance. We will touch on key recruiting dates at the end of the presentation today that we'd like you to keep an eye out for when scheduling. Free food will also get you far, so keep that in mind as well to entice students, especially if you are hosting an info session during the 7 to 8 p.m. slot. Rice students value diverse perspectives, and showing your company's commitment to diversity through your representation on campus is recommended. Students also love hearing from alumni. If you have a former or current Rice student working or interning with your organization, we highly recommend having them attend and highlighting that connection in your marketing. Finally, while our office will promote your event, employers are welcome and encouraged to reach out directly to relevant student organizations. So the most wonderful time of the recruiting season, our Career Expo is a great opportunity to meet hundreds of prospective candidates for your organization. We host one each semester in both the fall and the spring, and they both are open to students and alumni from all majors, programs, and class years. This semester, we are delighted to be offering both an in-person and virtual format for the Expo to allow our employer partners the chance to recruit as efficiently and comfortably as possible. The upcoming Fall 2022 Career and Internship Expo will take place in person on September 14th on campus and virtually on September 20th on Handshake. Information regarding registration and pricing can be found on our website. If you have your eye on the in-person expo, but you haven't registered yet, we encourage you to do so today or as soon as possible. We are limiting registration for the in-person expo for health and safety reasons, and we have 10 spots left for employers before we open up and begin the waiting list. As I mentioned in the previous slide, we recommend planning your recruiting schedule around the Career Expo. If you will be holding interviews, you're welcome to schedule them on campus in the weeks following the expo. Just as with info sessions and coffee chats, bringing alumni to engage with students is a great idea, and consider how you will engage students in an authentic, thoughtful way. Our next employer webinar on August 18th will focus exclusively on tips and tricks for preparing for Expo. The link to register is in the chat, and we hope to see you there. Our employer partners are also invited to participate in the OWL Edge externship program, which is now in its 9th year. These are short-term job shadowing experiences during the winter and spring breaks that allow students to connect with hosts to learn more about a job function, organization, and industry. Format is at the discretion of the host, but it can be held both virtually and in person on site. The goal of the program is to let students connect and explore, and is specifically geared towards freshmen and sophomores. This is a great program for early talent engagement. Students will share their experience with others and generate word of mouth. Registration for hosts will open in September, so keep an eye out for that if that's something you're interested in. So that wraps up our recruiting options. If there's any key takeaways we can leave with you, here are our top 5 suggestions. I'll throw it back to Camille to walk us through them.
Thanks, Shelby. Yes, here are the key takeaways we'd like for you to leave with today, whether you're new to recruiting at Rice or just looking to up your recruiting efforts this fall. First, we encourage you to intentionally build your brand on campus while understanding Rice culture. With our student population, it's important to understand that your recruiting strategy at Rice will look differently than your strategy for larger schools, and your events will have fewer students. It can take time to build a brand and talent pipeline from the Rice campus. Staying connected with the CCD and student groups is recommended for situating your company as a top choice for students. Second, as mentioned throughout our presentation, Rice has a lot of clubs and orgs, and we encourage you to get engaged. We can help spread the word, but our students want to hear directly from employers. Industry-focused clubs can be a valuable resource for identifying early talent in your industry, and connecting with diversity-focused organizations can help you reach a variety of students. Third, consider engaging strategically with Rice students to make your opportunities stand out. Host action-oriented programming so students can get to know your company beyond what they can find online. Events like alumni panels, case competitions, and simulations are really popular with our students. Fourth, focus on key skills rather than major qualifications to increase your candidate pool. You can capture students' attention in your outreach and job postings with descriptive language that allows students to picture themselves working for your company. Finally, we always recommend leveraging Rice alumni in your organization to assist in your campus recruiting efforts. Hearing about a Rice alum's experience at your company can help a student picture their path at your organization. The companies with the strongest Rice talent pipelines consistently bring back alumni to campus to talk about their great experiences. I've got a PDF of these key takeaways that I'm going to drop in the chat shortly and share out via email. Now I'm going to pass it back to Shelby to walk us through a few key dates to take note of this fall when making your recruiting plans.
Thanks, Camille. Campus recruiting for the fall semester will run from August 29th through November 18th. When scheduling, we ask you to keep those dates in mind, as well as the ones listed here where no campus recruiting events may be scheduled. Labor Day on September 5th, September 14th, and September 20th for the Career and Internship Expo, October 10th through 11th for the midterm recess, and October 27th through 28th for Rice's homecoming. And this concludes our prepared remarks. Thank you all for coming. We'll open it up now for any questions. So feel free to unmute yourself or drop any questions you may have in the chat. If you need to head out, please go ahead and click the link in the chat to register for our next webinar on August 18th, where we'll be talking exclusively about our Career and Internship Expo. And we will stop recording now as well.